Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another Patreon-sponsored reaction video. And this one comes to you courtesy of Crimson Melody, who has requested that I react to yet another Man-at-Arms Reforged video. Yeah, I did one of these a couple months back as actually my very first ever Patreon-sponsored reaction video. And it was the one for Excalibur from Faith Stay Night. Which, if you don't know what these are at all, it's where they try and make a weapon from an anime or something, like in real life, like actually forge it and make a real replica. And they, at least from the one I've seen, usually turn out a pretty awesome product. So, so yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. There's a lot that goes into the process, and it's all pretty interesting. Yeah, the Fate one, that was great, especially as such a big Fate fan as I am. This time, the weapon being made is Ryuko Matoi's Scissor Blade from Kill la Kill. And that's great because that's another anime that I really love. Kill la Kill, one of my favorites ever. And I'll be interested to see how we make the Scissor Blade. Kill la Kill, another thing that doesn't really have much to do with my channel. I mean, Fate, I kind of got lucky as I think I recorded that video right after I started Fate Apocrypha, so it did actually have at least something to do with my channel, even though you don't really see Excalibur much in that anime. But yeah, it's yeah, at least something that's had a presence. Kill la Kill hasn't, but it might eventually, actually, because just recently, like, a Kill la Kill fighting game was announced, and that's something that I very, very strongly might end up like streaming someday, which, if you haven't been paying attention, I did just start streaming like fighting games on my channel, Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Battle in particular, and that's a feature I plan to keep going. So yeah, that's the Kill la Kill game. That's something that might actually happen on the channel someday. As before, I do have a model to refer to. This is my Figma for Ryuko, and she's got her scissor blade, and I will look at that and see the job that they're doing, I guess. Look at her, she's great. Yeah, here's what the scissor blade looks like if you have no idea. I mean, it's basically a blade from a scissor, just it's huge, and yeah. So, we'll see. I mean, it seems like a kind of easier weapon to make. Like, it's just, as you can see, it's all just one color, so it's like, you just make a big red blade and kind of make it scissor-shaped. I don't think this one will give them that much trouble compared to some other stuff they probably made. It's pretty straightforward. Though, I mean, it is kind of an interesting shape to forge, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there's more difficulty here than I'm thinking. But you do have to add the holes into it, I guess. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't really know what it's all going to entail. But that's why it should be pretty interesting. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get this started. Here we go. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Kill la Kill. Pretty popular. I mean, I always knew that, but it's good to see it. Great anime. And just look at this animation. Break.
I'm Matt. I'm Carrie. We are the Stagmer Brothers, a Baltimore knife and sword. Our work can be seen on film, Broadway, and at Renaissance festivals around the country.
We're going to be building some of your favorite weapons, and some weapons that you've never seen before.
This is Man-at-Arms Reforged.
There we go.
You guys asked for Kill la Kill Scissor Blade. We're going to do something that I don't think any other blacksmith would ever try and attempt. We found a really nice 3D rendering of the scissor blade that we'll be basing our pattern off of.
Okay.
Plug that into AutoCAD
Cool.
and begin tracing the profile.
That probably makes it easier.
Scissor blade is basically a pair of scissors in half as a sword blade.
Yeah.
There it is. That's pretty much our basic pattern for the scissor blade. Hand the drawing off to John, and he'll take it from there.
The most efficient way to make the scissor blade is obviously to plasma cut it out. We have our Kill la Kill scissors blade cut out on the plasma. Definitely the most efficient way to make this blade quickest. But Ilya and I have better ideas.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
What we're gonna do is forge our billet out of scissors. I mean, a lot of them. I think we'll forge those into a blade instead.
Okay, well that's a
So we've taken all
creative
our scissors,
idea.
Got them nice and bundled up. So now we're gonna give it a shot. Once the clump of scissors is up to temperature, begin the long and steady process of consolidation. To speed up the process, we take the swage to the hydraulic press and begin to slowly rotate the billet as we press it into the form.
Well, that's okay. This is all pretty cool.
Once we've done 4 or 5 heats of that, we remove the swage and replace it with flat dies that will allow us to square the bar and prep it for the power hammer. After several heats of drawing out the blade on the power hammer, Ilya is now ready to begin his preform.
Oh, they're using that for
Using a Japanese doghead forging hammer,
comparison.
Ilya lays in the bevels to the blade. This not only begins our striking
Pretty good
edge,
idea.
but also gains us some width to the blade. With the shaping of the blade now complete, Ilya turns it around and begins forging the handle section. Ilya bends the handle piece around that will become our knuckle bow. This will have a hinged piece and extend into a two-handed grip. Ilya marks the spot that I imitate and hit with the sledge. In this case, Ilya is the caller and I'm the striker. The purpose of this is to draw out the peak in the center of the blade. Now it's time to punch the 2 holes in the scissors blade. Ilya holds the hot punch as I strike it on the anvil surface, thinning out a portion of the blade. Once we get it thin enough, we move to the hardy hole and punch the slug out. It's pretty much the shape, to be honest. I just have to do a little bit of profile grinding, true up the point, make the back of the spine here nice and flat. He really forged it to shape almost perfectly. Ilya did an incredible job forging this blade to shape, so profiling it shouldn't take me much time at all.
These guys are cool.
Now that we have our blade profile nice and crisp, it's time to lay in our
I like
edge
the
bevel.
background music.
I ground off about half the material that was in
yeah,
this
that's
blade.
pretty awesome
so much
already.
so that I have a giant pile of steel dust down here at my feet. Probably removed 5 pounds of steel. Using an air-powered die grinder, I clean out the punched holes. I bring the blade up to about 1550 degrees before quenching in a horizontal quench tank.
Oh yeah. Wow. Gotta love fire.
After quenching, the metal is still very hot. I only have a few
I can
seconds
imagine,
to run to
yeah.
the vise and do my straightening before it cools fully. After heat treat and tempering, it's finally time for me to get my grind on. Got our blade sanded and polished. It's now ready for etch. Because of the curvature, it won't fully fit in. So I have to kind of go up and down so we don't get a hard etch line. I'm using some 3000 grit sandpaper just to wipe the surface. Really helps you see the pattern. Takes the oxidation off, helps the etch go a little quicker. You can see another handle of the scissors here with the blade coming out. All those little holes are all the little holes in the scissors.
Interesting.
John adds 2 sections of metal to either side of the handle using the TIG welder. This is to thicken it to make it easier to hold in your hand.
Good idea. I mean,
John takes the welded handle and the blade, puts them together and checks the motion of the handle to make sure there's clearance where he has the pivot located.
I did some sculpting to the handle on the grinder last night. I used a 2-inch wheel to sculpt out our finger grooves for that nice grip. I also did a big bevel on the back, a little more comfortable, took a lot of weight off. I need to polish it out a little bit. I'm going to do that on the Scotch-Brite. I used the Scotch-Brite wheel to create a matte finish before paint. last step that I must do before paint is to connect our handle to the blade. I drive the 1/4 inch pin through the holes, creating my pivot. This blade has a couple different ways that it transforms in the anime, all using magic. The only real transformation that we could do mechanically is this handle extension. Glad we decided to forge it out of some scissors. That really made this unique. I don't think there's too many other smiths on the planet that would even try that. Pretty excited to get it red.
Pretty crazy idea, yeah.
With all the elaborate work that went into making this blade and producing a beautiful
now you gotta paint it.
I decided to use a metallic automotive paint that will show the pattern through the color. We started from a giant bundle of scissors and created one heck of a sword blade. This turned out to be one of my favorite builds of this season.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty epic. I mean, it's such a simple weapon design, but it's cool.
Class is now.
Oh yeah, now they gotta use it. Nice.
The blade!
Nice. He's really into it.
Click here to
I like seeing that.
Or click here to watch more episodes. Thanks for watching Man-at-Arms Reforged. We need to know what you want the guys to build, so tell us in the comments below what weapons you want to see next.
Well, there we go. That was fun. I like these videos. Yeah. And they did a pretty good job. I mean, they didn't have to make it out of scissors. That kind of was an unnecessary step. But it's kind of cool that they thought to go there. I mean, they kind of did that with the Fate one too, with making it out of metal based on the classes in Fate, the servant classes. So I probably should have expected that to some extent, but just making it out of a bunch of scissors is like a bit crazier, a bit sillier, but it's still just neat. And yeah, just everything they did, it's crazy. Just I admire these kind of people who would do something like this, just because it is so inventive and cool. It's just a lot of cool factor here, and yeah, I just appreciate all that went into this, and they did a pretty damn good job of making this thing. It looked really great, and I mean, they used it at the end. It looked really sharp, and yeah, just pretty epic. And I mean, obviously, they pointed out they can't have the sword actually do the stuff, all the crazy stuff that it can do in Kill la Kill. Which, like, I mean, for my model, I have a completely other version of the sword, a long one. So at least some of that stuff could be emulated, but like, I mean, that's not going to happen for for a real life weapon. That's yeah, no, but but yeah, this was cool. This was really cool, really interesting, and I love to watch more of this stuff. I mean, I still there's the Ruby one. I still got to get to that. I'll probably get to that one on my own time as a fan work reaction someday. I mean, unless someone does want to request it for Patreon, but if not, I'll do that one eventually. And I think there's like a Steven Universe one, and I think some other ones. I think there is a Fate Apocryphal one. Like, I think yeah, I think specifically Fate Apocrypha one. And there's probably some other ones too from anime that I've seen before and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I'll definitely look at more content from this channel in the future. Anyway, yeah, hope you liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.